This is a Toyota BB. Now if you're thinking, no Louis, that's a Scion XB, you're not actually wrong. In America, that's what this was sold as, but in the home country of Japan where it was produced, it's called a BB. I know it as both, so forgive me if I alternate between the two names as we go. Which name do you prefer? Obviously Toyota BB is the original, but Scion XB is a little bit cooler, like a streetwear brand or a techno album from the 90s. I mean, look at this. It's literally a box on wheels, like the Nissan Cube's sexier, cooler cousin.
Launched in Japan in 2000 as part of a new trend of style-focused boxy wagons designed for younger, trendy buyers. It was called a cool box, and that isn't an insult, that's Toyota's actual marketing.
Inside it's all very industrial. You've got flat seats, upright glass, instrument cluster in the middle, enough headroom for a giraffe. The back seats are also adjustable to give you more room in the boot. Let's talk about that.
There is so much room in the boot of the Toyota BB that you could fit essentially anything you wanted back there. And those seats, they fold down, so if you need even more room, that's got you covered. Doing that, you could fit anything apart from another Toyota BB back here. This car's side profile is just awesome. I mean, the thoughtfully textured side skirts, the covers on the windows, the chrome trims on the wing mirrors, the spoiler up at the back, the equally boxy fuel filler cap, and these doors. It's like getting into a van. Oh, this feels like a real captain's chair. The window controls over here for the whole thing. Temperature controls down there, loads and loads of room above your head, as you can see, lots of storage, cubby holes. It's very utilitarian, but not in a bad way. It feels like a car you could trust your most important journeys to. I like it very much. Lots of switches, knobs, the gearbox controlled from this stalk. The dials all up front, including an indicator to show you what gear you're in. This screen, this bit here, lights up.
Yeah, so this is it's just like, and you can turn them off if you want, you know, but this basically tells you when your lights are on.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I like that. I like that as a feature. Yes. Standard.
Oh, so they link to that? Oh.
So the girls will sit in the back and they'll just chill out watching cars whilst we're driving along.
And then you can watch it up front as well.
Watch it, technically not allowed.
Not.
Yeah,
because it's like a bench seat, you can just kind of shove it in there.
Why did you decide to actually buy one of these?
We bought a Mazda. It was a new one, so 2015.
Yeah.
And we had nothing but problems with it, so we ended up sending it back. And my wife said, I don't care what we have, I'm tired of the used car scene. You go out and get something. I've always had a soft spot for cubes and some stuff that's like just a little bit out of the ordinary.
Yep.
And for some, I don't know how it even popped up, but this came up on a vehicle auction site, and it was the classic kind of front quarter shot, you know, the bit of bumper, bit of the side shot, and the just a slight turn of the wheel, and I saw it and I was like, you know what, that's a bit of me actually. It is square. It's very square. People call it the toaster. There's just something about it that appealed to me, and
yeah.
I'll put a cheeky bid in on it. I didn't win it. And then the company that was selling it got in contact and said, do you want us to intervene, and would you like us to make contact with the seller with your best offer? So I said, yeah, go on, let's try. So I made an offer, and
Higher than your bid?
Yeah, it was higher than our bid, yeah. And it was higher than I wanted to pay as well, to be honest with you, but I don't know, there was something about it. I thought I'd need to have this. I ended up having the offer accepted, and I couldn't believe how close it was actually. I mean, it was 40 minutes drive from where I live. And I had a look at it, and there's a couple of things, like the tyres were old on the front, but generally speaking, like the guy was a decent guy. You guys got a real nice vibe about him. Anyway, we had a chat. I took it for a test drive, liked how it drove, and then so bought it. I pulled up on the driveway. My wife came to the back window, issued some one look in, issued, what have you bought? And I just said to her, I said, just go out and have a look at it, give it some time. It takes people a little while to warm to it. It's a bit Marmite, I would say. But she then got in it, and she couldn't believe how much space there is. There's an abundance of space in here. There's loads of room in here.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like it from the outside, but...
No, I was saying that actually. It's crazy how much headroom there is and how big it is for such a small looking vehicle.
I do a lot of picking up of our two daughters. There's loads of room in the back for that. Got the TV screens, of course, as well, which keep them occupied on long journeys. We did, I think the furthest we've been in it is 6 hours, which was up to Snowdonia.
Yeah.
We have one stop off, but otherwise the girls are just occupied with a TV screen. So it's a comfy place to be.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I've had the whole what have you bought talk from both my mum and my girlfriend multiple times.
But that's only because there's people that don't get it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know about you, I can't ever see myself in like a common car.
No.
I had a Honda Accord for a time and it was good, but
yeah.
I was very quickly bored.
Yeah.
If there's someone watching this video right now who's actually thinking of buying one of these,
yeah,
and they're on the fence, what would you say to that person?
I'd say go with your gut. If you're looking at the possibility of buying one of these and one comes up, I would make a concerted effort to go and have a look at it.
Yeah.
And drive it. Because once you've done both, in my opinion, you'll easily part with your cash. It wasn't a problem for me.
So if someone came to you and said, hey, I'm going to give you a blank check to modify this car, what would you do to it? How would you change it?
That is a good question.
Thank you. I don't have many, but
that's a good question.
I didn't mean to like.
That's a stumper. Because I get it. I get in this, and I drive it every day. Yeah, some people are saying change how it looks, but that's what drew me to it. So I don't want to change that. I don't think there's anything I would change.
No, that's good.
If somebody said to me, "I'll buy your car off you," I'm not going to say no to a blank check, but it would have to be a lot of, it would have to be a decent amount of money, more like twice what the car's worth.
Yeah,
because I like it so much.
Yeah. This car is not just a vehicle; it's part of your family now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, you can get a fist underneath it.
So you got a load of room.
That's how much clearance you got. Yeah, you get 18s on this without issue. The front has been lowered probably about 2 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of inches.
Sorry to interrupt the video, but I just want to say that if you're enjoying it, I do have a Patreon. You can go over there, it's only a few quid a month. If you donate, you get access to my videos early, you get bonus content, you get the ability to DM with me and your name in the credits of our videos. If you can't do that or you don't want to, it's not a problem. Leave me a like, consider subscribing, and please leave a comment because that engagement shows the algorithm that this video is worth promoting. Thank you very much. Back to the video.
And you know what? It is cool. This wasn't for executives or parents or librarians. This was for DJs, people who hung around the nightlife scene with headphones bigger than their face. In Japan, you had 2 engine options, a 1.3 litre with 88 horsepower or a 1.5 with 108 horsepower. Both those engines are honestly quite unremarkable, and the owner even told me that it wouldn't take the skin off a rice pudding.
Unsurprisingly, speed is not this car's strong suit, but that's okay, because the BB has never been about stats, numbers on a piece of paper. It's about how it makes you feel. I might start calling it the Vibe-mobile. It's easy to drive, easy to park, and easy to fill up at a petrol station. Plus, it's got a turning circle tighter than your mate who still owes you a tenner. Given that it gets 40 miles per gallon, it also drinks less than a Buddhist monk. In Japan, the BB was not seen as boring. In fact, it was quite common to heavily modify these cars. Custom bodywork, custom paint jobs, even entire interior swaps. It is a blank canvas for you to unleash your imagination upon. There were entire subcultures dedicated to this car. Some looked like spaceships, some looked like rolling nightclubs, some were subtle, some weren't. The BB had what a lot of modern cars lack, a blank slate ripe for customization, encouraged by Toyota themselves. There was the BB Open Deck, which was essentially a pickup truck version of this car.
This one in particular has a subwoofer installed by Hayden, the owner.
The Toyota BB sold incredibly well. It was cheap, reliable, it is a Toyota, and trendy without trying. For many years, this was the car for Japan's youth. This car, like most of the others, is front-wheel drive. However, there were interestingly a very small number of all-wheel drives as well.
Underneath, the car is actually remarkably similar to a Toyota Yaris, sharing the same running gear and cross-compatibility with a lot of the parts. For example, the fuel sender has been swapped, as well as the wheel bearings, all with parts from a Yaris, and the owner has even installed a backup camera that he stole off a Prius. And when you look at this car and then you take a look at the center of Japanese cities, you understand why it did so well. It's the perfect shape to maximize on all that space whilst not being too big to navigate the tight streets. You could comfortably fit 5 people in here.
This isn't a bad illustration. I'm 6 foot.
Oh, nice.
And I'm lost. I've got
So much
all the room
headroom.
in the world. I don't need anything else.
And you're behind a 6-foot driving position as well.
Or you could fold it all flat and use it like the world's trendiest van. There really are endless possibilities. The owner of this car owns a modern SUV as well, and he recently did a very long road trip in it. And he told me that he spent the entire time wishing he could have been in this instead. This car can be such a splash of color in a world that is otherwise black and white. If you're tired of making spreadsheets and want to make a little music instead, I can't think of much better.
The BB wasn't fast, it wasn't crazy, but it never needed to be. In a city where space is at a premium and fashion moves quickly, this was perfect for the moment. Simple, useful, and always up for a good time. The BB isn't just a car for your commute, it's a car for your lifestyle. While the rest of the world was giving us boring hatchbacks and estate cars, Toyota gave us this, a beautiful blank canvas that could get you from A to B, but would also make the bit in between a story worth telling. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I apologize that the camera quality might not be quite as high as usual. My normal camera is being repaired. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I have a Patreon as well. As mentioned, you can subscribe to that if you want to give even more support to the channel. And if you or someone that you know has an interesting car from days gone by, get in touch because I'd love to feature it. Thank you very much for watching. Dino Dude Rocket out. It was cheap and reliable. It is a Toyota after all. Hello.
Sorry.
It's okay, you don't have to apologize. Hello.
I thought you might just carry on.
It's all good.